For 500 years, the galaxy was silent about Earth. Long ago, during the Great War, Earth had burned. Its skies turned red. Its cities vanished. No one survived. At least that's what the galaxy believed. After the war, Earth became a ghost, a dead world. Now, 5 centuries later, something changed. In a quiet corner of space, near the edge of the Orion sector, a deep space research station floated in the dark. It was called Outpost S9. Only 6 aliens worked there. They watched dying stars, listened to black holes, and tracked signals. Nothing exciting ever happened. Until one day, something did. A loud alarm rang inside the station. Red lights flashed. The scanners had found something strange. Unidentified signal detected, the computer said. Source, Earth system. The head researcher, Vel Ron, a tall alien with blue skin and glowing eyes, looked at the screen. The signal was old, very old, but it was repeating again and again. "What is this?" Velran asked. He played the signal. It was a short code, 5 seconds long. Then silence. Then the code repeated. He checked the language. It wasn't alien. It was human. His hands shook. He hadn't seen human code in his lifetime. No one had. It was forgotten, just like Earth. The signal was military. An emergency call. It said, DEFCON 1. Earth Defense Protocol active. Velron stepped back. He had read about this in ancient records. DEFCON 1 was Earth's final alert. It meant total war. It meant someone, somewhere, had woken up Earth's war systems. But Earth is dead, another scientist said. This must be a ghost signal, just old tech repeating. Velran wasn't sure. Something felt real, alive. He sent the signal to the Galactic Council. Within hours, he got a message back. You are ordered to investigate. Travel to Earth system immediately. Report findings. Do not engage. The next day, Velron boarded a scout ship and jumped into hyperspace. Destination: Sol System, home of the dead world. It took 3 days to reach Earth. As he came closer, Velron saw the gray planet floating in the dark. It looked dead. No cities, no lights, no sign of life, just clouds and ash. But then, something strange happened. As his ship crossed into Earth orbit, an old satellite locked onto him. It was rusted, broken, and barely alive. But its antenna turned slowly toward Velran's ship. A light blinked on the satellite. A voice spoke in Old English. "Welcome back, Commander. Earth Defense Grid online." Velron froze. "I'm not a commander," he whispered. The satellite didn't care. It scanned his ship, then sent a signal down to the surface. Below, something began to move. From the shadow of the Earth, a shape rose. Velran watched in shock as a massive ship came out of hiding. Dust and ice slid off its hull. It looked ancient. Black metal, thick armor, giant cannons on each side. The ship's name appeared on his screen. ESS Revenant, a human warship, still alive, still armed. Velran couldn't breathe. "Impossible," he said. The Revenant opened a communication line. "Identify," a cold voice said. It was an AI, a machine. Velran answered slowly. "I am Velran of the Galactic Research Network. I come in peace." The AI paused. Then it replied, "Humanity was betrayed. Earth remembers. Earth survives. Stand by for defense protocol." Before Velran could respond, the ship scanned him again. It didn't fire. It didn't move. It simply waited. And then more signals began to appear. From the moon, from Mars, from deep beneath the oceans, old Earth defense systems, waking up. Velran sent a message to the Council. Earth is not dead. Something has returned. Far away on the council's homeworld, leaders stared at his message. Some were afraid. Some were angry. All of them remembered one thing. Humanity was the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Now they were waking up, and no one knew why. The warship floated in the dark like a sleeping giant. Its name was ESS Revenant. It was built 500 years ago, by humans before the Great War. Everyone believed it was destroyed. But now, it was awake. Velran's ship hovered nearby, silent and small. He felt fear, but also curiosity. What was this ship doing here? Who had turned it on? Was someone alive on board? The AI's voice came again through the speaker. Boarding. Granted. Welcome, Commander. Velran wasn't a commander, but the ship didn't care. It was following old orders. Maybe it didn't know time had passed. Carefully, Velran flew his ship into the Revenant's docking bay. The hangar door opened slowly, like a jaw opening after centuries of sleep. Inside, the lights were dim. Dust floated in the air. Everything was old, but still working. Velran stepped out of his ship. The air was cold. The walls were covered in human language and warning signs. Rusted robots stood frozen, like statues from a forgotten war. He walked slowly. His boots echoed on the metal floor. Suddenly, a light turned on above him, then another, then another. A path of lights led him forward. He followed. The ship seemed empty, but it was not dead. Velran entered what looked like the command center. Giant screens covered the walls. Some showed maps of Earth. Others showed blueprints of weapons, starships, and satellites. In the center of the room, a glowing sphere floated. It was the ship's AI core. The AI spoke again. You are now in command of the ESS Revenant. Fleet Alpha has entered Phase 1. Velran raised his hands. Wait, I'm not human. I'm not your commander. The AI paused, then replied, Identity error detected. No authorized humans found. Protocol continues. Defense systems remain active. Velran looked around. The ship wasn't just working, it was preparing for something. He walked to one of the screens. It showed an old video file labeled Last Log, Commander Lyra Kane. He tapped the screen. A human woman appeared. She wore a black military uniform. Her face was tired, but her eyes were sharp. This is Commander Kane, she said. If you're watching this, it means Earth fell. It means they betrayed us. But we are not gone. The Revenant will wait. And when the signal is given, it will protect Earth once more. We are not finished. We are sleeping. But we will return. The video ended. Velran stood in silence. So this was Earth's plan. They didn't lose the war. They hid. They built ships like this one and placed them in sleep mode, waiting for the right time, waiting for a signal. Velran turned to the AI. Who gave the signal? He asked. The AI answered, Unknown. Activation was automatic. Code was triggered by orbital satellite scan. So no one gave the order. It happened by accident. Or something else had returned. Suddenly, alarms rang through the ship. Red lights flashed. External scan complete, the AI said. Enemy patterns detected across galactic space. Council vessels identified. Defense protocols initiating. Velran's eyes widened. No, wait! The Council isn't your enemy! But the ship ignored him. It didn't understand peace. It was built for war. It had slept for 500 years, waiting to fight. The Revenant's guns moved slowly. Its shields powered on. Its engines rumbled. A storm was waking. Velran rushed to a nearby console and opened communication with the Council. This is Velran, he said quickly. Earth's ship is active. It has powerful weapons. It sees the Council as a threat. Do not attack it. I repeat, do not attack. But he wasn't sure anyone would listen. Far away, the Galactic Council had already begun preparing a fleet. They had seen the same thing he had. Earth's warships were not dead. They were sleeping, and now they were waking up. In space, a second signal lit up, then a third. Ships hidden on the moon, on Mars, in deep orbit. All of them were human, all of them were ancient, and all of them were ready for war. Velran stood on the deck of the Revenant and looked at the stars. He whispered to himself, "The ghosts of steel are rising, and they are not finished yet." The Galactic Council had always feared one thing, the return of mankind. When Earth fell 500 years ago, the galaxy had sighed in relief. The humans were strong, wild, and dangerous. They built weapons that broke planets. They fought wars with fire and fury. Many believed it was good that Earth was gone. Now, that belief was shattered. The Council sat in a great chamber on Nareth Prime, the political heart of the galaxy. 12 alien species had seats at the table. Tall ones, small ones, those with fur, those with scales. They all watched the same message from Velran, a message filled with fear. "This is Velran," the recording played. "Earth's defense fleet is activating. I saw it with my own eyes. The ship called Revenant is alive. Its AI is running. It believes war is coming, and it is preparing to fight." The message ended. Silence filled the room. Then came the arguments. "They must not return," growled Chakar, the war minister from the Kroth Empire. "They destroyed half the stars in the Omega Line during the Great Collapse. Do you forget what they did?" "They were betrayed by us," said Zeltara, a diplomat from the Lyrics Union. "We promised alliance, then we left them during the war. Perhaps we are the reason they vanished." "They vanished because they were too proud," another shouted. "And now they return? With ancient war machines and no control?" The High Chancellor, a wise old alien with glowing skin, raised a hand. Everyone became quiet. "What matters now," he said slowly, "is this. Are the humans truly back? Or is this only a machine, carrying out old orders?" No one answered. So far, only AI had been seen. No living human, no voice, no face. But more and more Earth warships were waking up, from hidden caves on Mars, from tunnels under Europa, from cloaked orbits near Saturn. All of them were connected. All of them were armed. All of them were scanning the stars, waiting, watching. Velran's second message arrived. "I have confirmed more than 20 ships. AI active. Defense protocol is expanding. These ships are preparing for war." Velran stood on the bridge of the ESS Revenant, watching something incredible. Far across Earth's orbit, giant shapes were coming to life. Hidden human warships, forgotten by time, were rising from the shadows. One by one, they powered on. Their engines lit up. Their shields flickered to life. Their names appeared on old rusted hulls. ESS Valiant, ESS Hammerfall, ESS Ghostlight. Some had been buried under the moon's surface. Some were floating, cloaked in deep space. Some were even resting at the bottom of Earth's oceans. But now they were awake. Velran counted over 50 ships on the radar. Each one was bigger than anything the modern galaxy had ever built. Thick armor, heavy cannons. AI systems from the old war. They were not made for patrol. They were made for survival, for revenge. He recorded a message for the Galactic Council. "This is Velran. Earth's fleet is no longer just one ship. The entire war system is coming online. This is no accident. Something, or someone, triggered all of it. Inside the Revenant," the AI spoke again. "Fleet link established. Earth Defense Network is now 72% active. Phase 2 in progress." Velran turned to the main screen. A map showed the entire solar system. Red dots marked every ship now under Earth's control. There were even 2 defense stations near Pluto, still operational. He whispered, "This is a sleeping empire, waking up, Suddenly, a small alarm beeped. Lifeform signatures detected, the AI said. Cryopods active. Human personnel confirmed on ESS Valiant. Velran's heart stopped. The humans were waking. The Valiant's signal came online. Its AI, similar to the Revenant's, announced Captain Lyra Kane. Status, cryo recovery. Estimated time to consciousness, 4 hours. Captain Kane. The same woman from the last log. The woman who ordered the ships into sleep 500 years ago. Velran knew what this meant. Real humans were returning, not just machines, not just AI. The species the galaxy had feared most was about to rise again. He tried to send a warning to the Council, but it was too late. The Galactic Shadow Fleet had already entered the solar system. Cloaked in silence, small ships from 12 alien nations moved toward Earth orbit. Their orders were clear: destroy the human command centers before the humans fully wake. They believed they were being smart. But Earth's defense network was smarter. As the first alien ship crossed into Mars orbit, a hidden turret turned. It scanned the ship. It fired once. A blue beam sliced through space, clean, fast, deadly. The alien ship exploded in silence. Before the others could react, Earth's war network responded across the entire system. Lasers fired from satellites, hidden in space dust. Missiles launched from underwater bunkers. Drone squadrons rose from Earth's atmosphere like angry bees. The Revenant's AI announced, alert, enemy incursion detected. Galactic ships identified. Defensive response engaged, Velran screamed. Wait, this is a mistake. They think you're preparing for war. The AI didn't respond. It had no feelings. It didn't care about politics. It only followed one. Command: protect Earth at all costs. In 10 minutes, 7 alien ships were destroyed. The rest retreated. Back on the Council world, panic broke out. The High Chancellor slammed his staff on the floor. They fired without warning. They saw us as invaders, Zeltara said quietly, because that's what we were. Then it's war, Chakar growled. The humans have drawn first blood. No, the Chancellor said, eyes narrowing. We did. A long time ago. But now it was too late. The humans were coming back, and their machines had already started the war for them. Back on the Valiant, lights inside the cryo chamber flickered. A heartbeat monitor began to beep. A figure inside one of the pods twitched. Captain Lyra Kane opened her eyes slowly. Fog covered the glass around her. She reached up and wiped it clean. Her eyes scanned the dark room. Then she whispered one word. Revenant. The ship's AI responded. Welcome back, Captain. The war never ended. Earth needs you. Outside. The sky burned with the light of ancient engines. The fleet had awakened. And soon, so would humanity. Captain Lyra Kane stood at the center of the ESS Valiant's bridge. Her body was weak, but her mind was sharp. Cryosleep had kept her alive for over 500 years, but it could not freeze her will. She looked at the screen in front of her. Red warning lights, fleet movement reports, enemy ship scans. It felt like waking up in the middle of a battlefield, and in some ways it was. Status? She asked, her voice dry and cracked. The Valiant's AI responded calmly. Solar system defense systems, active. Council Shadow Fleet, 60% destroyed. Fleet command awaiting orders. Lyra's eyes narrowed. The Council came? After all this time? She turned slowly and stared into the stars. Her memory returned piece by piece. How Earth was betrayed. How humanity was pushed to extinction. How they hid the last ships and soldiers in silence. She had trusted the future. Now, the future had arrived. Across space, other cryopods were opening. More captains, more engineers, more human warriors. Some were waking up in shock, some cried, some laughed. But all of them felt the same thing. They were alive, and Earth had not fallen. On Nerith Prime, Galactic Council panic ruled the council chamber. "The humans are returning," shouted Chakar. "And they're already attacking." "They're defending," corrected Zeltara. "We tried to erase them, and they survived. Maybe we owe them a chance to speak." "No!" Chakar slammed his fist. "They have weapons older than our entire fleet. If we don't strike now, we will not survive." But others were starting to doubt. A young council advisor stood and showed a transmission. It was Lyra Kane. A live message. Not AI, not machine. A human. Her face appeared, calm but cold. "This is Captain Lyra Kane of the Earth Defense Fleet. We are not here to conquer. We are not here to destroy. But we are not running anymore. For 500 years, Earth was silent. You thought we were gone. You were wrong. We remember the betrayal. We remember the war. But we also remember peace. If the galaxy wants peace, we can speak. If it wants war, know this. We are ready." Her message ended. The chamber was silent. Even Chakar could not speak, because this was no AI. This was humanity itself, looking straight into the stars, unafraid. Back at the Revenant Velron, watched from the bridge, stunned, he whispered, "She's back. The humans are really back." The Revenant's AI confirmed. Earth Command re-established. All fleet systems now reporting to human control. War AI entering standby mode. Velran looked out the window. He saw hundreds of ships, some new, some ancient, gathering together like a storm. But this wasn't just a fleet. This was a civilization returning from the grave. Meanwhile, on Earth, across the planet, hidden bunkers opened. Old cities lit up. Drones began repairing infrastructure. Satellites reconnected. Fields started growing again through machines buried underground. The AI didn't just protect Earth, it preserved it. And now, with humans waking up, Earth was coming back to life. Small groups of survivors, descendants of those who had gone into hiding, came out. Some lived in underground vaults, some in deep forests. They looked up at the sky and saw ships. For the first time in centuries, they felt hope. In deep space, a council fleet waited at the edge of the solar system. They had orders to attack. But, after hearing Captain Kane's message, they paused. One commander asked, "Should we really fight them? They're defending their home." Another said, "They're stronger than we thought. Maybe they deserve a place in the galaxy again." The fleet waited. No one fired. On board the valiant captain, Kane gathered her officers, young men and women, just waking from cryo-sleep. She looked them in the eye. "We were built to survive." "And we did," she said. "But now we have a choice. Do we return as ghosts of war, or as the future?" They stood in silence. Then one officer said, "We return as both, ghosts and hope." Lyra smiled. For the first time in 500 years, she felt alive. Outside, the Earth Defense Fleet moved into formation. The sky over Earth was no longer empty. Humanity had risen, and the galaxy was watching. Captain Lyra Kane stood inside the old war archive buried, deep within ESS Valiant. The ship's AI had found something strange, files sealed before the last battle, locked even from top officers. Now, with her command code, the locks were opening. "Warning," the AI said. "This file is marked, do not access unless Earth has fallen." Lyra hesitated. Then she gave the order. "Play it." The lights dimmed. A hologram appeared. It was Admiral Cyrus Vale, the man who had led Earth's last fleet. Her mentor, her friend. His face was tired. His eyes burned with sorrow. "If you're seeing this," he began, "then Earth has been silent, and you've returned. There is something we never told the public, not even most of the military. During the last war, Earth faced more than betrayal. We faced something worse. Lyra leaned forward, breath held. There was another enemy, one that never showed its face, one that used the Council's fear to move in the shadows. We called it the Whisper. The hologram flickered. It wasn't a species, not a nation. It was something older, a presence that infected minds, AI systems, even entire fleets. It made leaders turn on each other. It wanted chaos. We believe the Whisper started the war that destroyed Earth. We never beat it. We only hid. We created cryo-sleep to escape it. The AI defense systems weren't just to protect Earth. They were to keep the Whisper out. The message ended. Silence filled the command room. Lyra's hands trembled. All this time, it wasn't just the Council. Something else wanted us gone. The Valiant's AI confirmed. Fleet archives show reports of strange behavior, sudden betrayals, and unexplained attacks before the fall. The skies above Earth glowed with fire. Human warships circled the planet like guardians. Their engines roared softly. Their cannons were silent, but ready. Inside the command center of the ESS Valiant, Captain Lyra Kane stood tall, her hands behind her back, watching a storm that could not be seen with eyes alone. "Report," she said. The ship's AI replied, "The Whisper's signal has entered Earth's orbit. Infection attempts increasing. Firewalls holding. Barely." Lyra turned to her officers. These were survivors, some newly awakened from cryo-sleep. Others, children of Earth who had grown up hiding in caves and bunkers. She spoke calmly. "This is not just about Earth anymore. This is not just about humans. If we lose, the Whisper spreads. To the galaxy. To every world. This is the last. Stand, not just for us, but for all life. No one ran. No one complained. They were ready. The enemy reveals itself far beyond the moon, in the black cold of space. The Whisper came. It had no ships, no faces, just a dark cloud of corrupted code, twisted AI signals, and ghost-like energy that moved like a living virus. It had slept for centuries, hidden, patient. Now it was awake, and it was angry. It struck first. Satellites began to shut down. A drone squadron turned on its own. One human warship, ESS Solaris, fired at another before exploding in flames. System corruption rising, the AI warned. It is learning. It is adapting. Lyra knew code couldn't stop it alone. It needed something stronger, something human. Alliance from the galaxy. Just when hope began to fade, dozens of ships jumped into orbit. Council ships. Velran stood on the bridge of the Revenant, broadcasting to the human fleet. "This is Ambassador Velran of the Galactic Council. We once feared you. We attacked you. But now, we fight with you." Lyra smiled just a little. She replied, "Then welcome to Earth." The final battle. Begins. Human ships moved into tight formation. Council cruisers covered their flanks. Drones buzzed around like fireflies. They launched pulse bombs, coded weapons, designed to burn out the Whisper's signal. The Whisper fought back. It split itself, jumping from system to system. Some ships went dark. Others screamed in pain through their speakers as infected AIs begged for help. One message came through. "It's inside me. I see fire. I hear screaming." Then silence. Lyra made the hardest call. "Destroy infected ships. No hesitation." The Valiant fired its main cannon. One of its own sisters, the ESS Falcon, exploded in a blue flash. Tears ran down Lyra's face. She kept giving orders. This was war. Inside the Whisper, Velran's ship had a plan. The Revenant was old, but it had one weapon no one else had. A code spike, written 500 years ago by Earth's best minds. It was risky. It would take one ship deep into the center of the Whisper and burn it from the inside, but it had to be done manually. Velran volunteered. his crew argued. "You're not even human," one said. Velran smiled. "No, but I believe in them." He loaded the spike, flew straight into the storm, the sacrifice inside. The Whisper's core, Velran saw everything. He saw memories of dying planets, civilizations that were broken, ships that were turned into tools of madness, and he saw Earth, standing in the middle of it, defiant. His ship shook, sparks flew, the Whisper screamed, not in sound, but in emotion, hate, fear, loneliness. Velran whispered, "Not today." Then. He activated the spike. A blinding white pulse exploded through space. The Whisper howled, trying to hold on, but the code hit its core, and for the first time, the Whisper screamed in pain. The sky clears silence, then light. The dark clouds vanished. Infected ships shut down and floated harmlessly. Human AIs returned to normal. The Earth Defense Network announced, "Whisper presence terminated. Captain." Lyra Kane sank into her chair, her face pale, her voice soft. "It's over." She looked out at the stars. "We lost good people. We fought our own, but we stood. We stayed human. Council ships sent messages of thanks. Survivors cheered. And somewhere, a few small children saw the sky light up and knew Earth had won." A new dawn weeks passed. Earth began to rebuild. Council teams arrived not as enemies, but as friends. They helped repair, helped plant, helped listen. And in return, humans shared their knowledge, their tech, and their story. A story of survival, a story of pain, a story of rising from the ashes. Lyra stood at Earth's new council hall. Velron's name was carved in stone beside hers. "He believed in us when no one else did." She looked up at the stars. "Let them remember. Humanity fell. Humanity rose. And when the darkness came, we stood together. The galaxy would never forget." Again, Earth was no longer a memory. It was a beacon. The last stand had become the first step.